170 is only 1 day away. It is going to be live this Friday at 1:30 p.m. South African time on YouTube. That is the One Championship YouTube channel, by the way. It's going to be absolutely amazing coming from Impact Arena, Bangkok, Thailand. 3 title fights on this fight card, stacked from top to bottom. I'm going to give my final predictions up next in Fighting with Friends. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Fighting with Friends. It's your boy, brother Gaia, and I am back today. My audio is actually just giving me a targeted time, so I'm going to just change that thing. There we go. Yes, it's your boy, brother Gaia, back today. I'm going to give you my final predictions of 170 from Impact Arena, Bangkok, Thailand, like I mentioned. And if you haven't caught the preview, that is up on our YouTube page. Brother Jedi, and Babu gave their predictions of these particular fights on this card. So today, I'm going to be doing my predictions. I particularly waited to give my predictions because I wanted to first watch the hydration and weigh-in tests, because often that's where we see sort of fishy business happen in the one championship, where fighters don't make weight or they don't make hydration, and it kind of impacts the fights and sort of impacts the incentives around the fights. Happy to report that the 3 title fights in this card, all the fighters made their weight, which means none of the fights are being impacted. They're all fighting for that 26-pound gold. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the first fight of the main, starting from the main event, making my way down essentially to the card. And the first fight is a rematch between the featherweight champion Tawanchai from PK Sinchai Gym taking on Superbon, fighting out the Superbon Gym. This is for the featherweight Muay Thai strap. Hella exciting. These guys have fought before, but they fought in kickboxing before this featherweight kickboxing bout, and it was very, very competitive between the two guys. However, Tawanchai did get the edge in that fight. He was the one that was, I would say, he's more youthful. He's only 25 years old, whereas Superbon is now 34. That's a 9-year difference between the guys. So, yeah, I think Superbon, as much as he said he's going to fight for at least another or another 20 years of his life, I do think that he only really has maybe 3 years max, to be quite honest, before he is going to have to move into full-time coaching. But how do I see this fight plays out? Firstly, big props to both these gentlemen for making the weight and passing hydration. Obviously, you know my point of view about that. I did a video on it before. I personally feel like the one championship should actually forego the hydration test and just strictly do the weight cuts only, which will make it a little bit easier for these fighters to actually make the regulated weight and show up to the fights, and doesn't impact anything of terms of what incentive these guys are fighting for. How do I see this fight playing out? I think it's going to be a 5-round decision. I don't think either one of these gentlemen, even though they're both are knockout specialists, but I do agree with what both of them had said in their interviews coming up to this fight, is that when you're fighting at this level, it's extremely difficult to actually knock someone out. Granted that Superbon did knock out Smoking Joe within like the first 2 seconds of the fight they had before, but that was the kind of things where that one probably won't happen again if they must fight for another time. Whereas Tawanchai, he fought Smoking Joe twice, and both fights Smoking Joe took him to the end. In fact, I would go as far as to say that Smoking Joe actually won the second fight, which kind of shows you what I mean. Like, these guys can't really put each other away because they're just that chewed up about the fight. They just know how to avoid one another's most powerful blows. They've trained in similar gyms for so long, and they kind of know each other's styles to the T. So that's probably why I think this fight's going to go decision. But who's going to win? I want to go Superbon because of the momentum that he has right now. He's on a tear. He came back his kickboxing championship. Like I said, beating Smoking Joe, which is one of the high level fighters in the one championship, and prove why he's still the king. I mean, he's probably the best at game planning for anybody in Muay Thai or kickboxing. He's also famously known for his 140 fight, but also more importantly, winning back the rematches, which I think is the best thing about the guy. After he takes a loss, it's like he knows how to beat you the second time, and that's where I'm worried about for Tawanchai. Is like, what is Tawanchai going to do differently to sort of manage the new nuances that Superbon's going to bring into the second fight? I think Tawanchai is faster. I think he's got a snappier kick. I think his steep is a bit better than Superbon's. I do think the roundhouse is pretty equal. I think Superbon maybe has a better roundhouse, but I do believe that Tawanchai is a little bit more intense because he has more ways to variate that deep kick, which is a very, very powerful tool because it sets up pretty much his finishing sequences, or he actually ends fights with that deep because that's how intense it really is. So I think for Superbon, is he can navigate that deep kick. I think he's very on par with the hands with Tawanchai, if not a bit better. Tawanchai's got amazing elbows, got amazing 1-2, switch 1-2 as well. I mean, both these guys are, I can explain the entire day talking about how both these gentlemen have got keys to victory, which is almost exactly the same thing. Just for me, Superbon's going to have to be a lot more precise than he was in that first fight, and kind of go the 5 rounds with a lot more vigor. Because round 4 and 5 we did tire out against Tawanchai. So I think in this fight it's going to come down to Superbon's precision and Tawanchai's speed and maintenance of that speed over the course of 5 rounds. I'm going to go Superbon. I think the experience, the know-how, the game planning is probably what's going to get the job done here. But it's a tough fight. Tough fight for anybody. I think anyone who fights Tawanchai you're going to beat the underdog in this fight. So safe money would be Tawanchai, but I'm going to say bet on Superbon here. He's probably going to get the job done over 5 rounds. He's going to game plan Tawanchai really well over the course of these 5 rounds. All right, let's keep it moving, ladies and gentlemen, to the co-main event. Also, these two gentlemen made the regulated weight for the bantamweight, and I am stoked about it because, again, it maintains these guys fighting with good, big incentives. So we're also seeing a rematch in this co-main event, just like the first one. Fabricio Andrade is defending his bantamweight strap in MMA against KwonWonIl for the second time. The first fight ended, I think it was the first round, with Fabricio just body kicked him. Kwon won and pretty much just ended the fight after that kick. It was done right there. KwonWonIl comes into this fight as the number 3 bantamweight MMA contender, with Fabricio obviously the champion. Fabricio lost his last fight, but that was not in this discipline. He lost to Jonathan Haggerty in that was kickboxing. KwonWonIl, since losing to Fabricio Andrade, he's gone on a 3-fight win streak, ending all those fights in TKO. I mean, he's probably one of the best boxers you'll watch in the bantamweight division in MMA in one championship. But I don't necessarily think that he's going to be doing anything different in this fight, just because I don't think KwonWonIl has got the grappling prowess or understanding to actually match that of Fabricio. Fabricio is a very, very high-level black belt jiu-jitsu specialist. Hasn't really had the opportunity to show it in one championship, just because he's been starching people literally with his hands and kicks. I mean, he beat John Lineker 2 fights. What's striking him? Let that sink in. So Fabricio Andrade, I think, is probably going to win this fight again, just like the first one. Probably not going to win in the first round, but I do believe that Fabricio is levels above KwonWon. That doesn't mean KwonWon is not a fantastic fighter. Don't get me wrong. Apart from Fabricio in this bantamweight division, KwonWon is the guy. He is the guy. You know what I mean? He's got the best boxing. He's got good takedown defense, and because he's got good takedown defense, a lot of the guys can't take him down, and then that's where he starts winning the fight, by just outboxing people, putting them away. But Fabricio again can wrestle and he can strike, and I don't think KwonWon can handle the striking of Fabricio, and I don't think he can actually defend the wrestling of Fabricio Andrade. And for that reason, Fabricio Andrade is going to get his hand raised again, maintaining the championship. And I do personally think that Fabricio Andrade, once winning this title, only 27 years old. I think KwonWon is in his 30s, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check that before I continue. KwonWon is 29 years old, right? So I would say Fabricio at 27 years old, what would be nice for him if he wins this fight is to just chill out. Let Akbar Abdullayev and Tankai run their fight back. Hopefully it's still within 2025. Let them run their title back. Pretty sure Akbar is going to win that fight again. And then we do double weight champ versus champ, Fabricio Andrade taking on Akbar Abdullayev. It would be an absolute banger. But they have to fight in the bantamweight division, not in the featherweight division. I'm not too sure Fabricio can actually make that weight. I think he's going to be too slow. He's going to have to sacrifice quite a bit of his game to he's going to go up. Whereas I do think Akbar can make both weights quite easily. But anyway, let me know in the comments, please, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think is going to win this co-main event? I've got my money on Fabricio for this one. Let's go, Fabricio. Let's go. Right, next one. This was a scary fight matchup. Just because I was a bit concerned, not too much about how the fight's going to play out, but more concerned about is Nico Carrillo going to make the weight limit, right? Because this guy, I honestly don't know how he makes bantamweight. He's massive. He's bigger than most of the featherweights. You can put Nico Carrillo next to Tawanchai. Tawanchai is a featherweight Muay Thai championship. Nico Carrillo is fighting for a bantamweight championship right now. Put them next to each other. You're gonna ask yourself, how on earth does Nico Carrillo make this weight division? How on earth does this guy make bantamweight? He's way too big, way too big. And Nabil Anane is tall, but he easily makes this weight. Whereas Nico, I'm amazed on how he makes the bantamweight division because he is absolutely massive. This guy's a specimen. The King of the North comes into this fight as the number 2 ranked bantamweight Muay Thai practitioner, 26 years old. Nabil Anane is the number 5 Muay Thai bantamweight practitioner, and he's 20 years old. And I do think that he's climbing the ranking a little bit quick for my liking. He said it himself. He's not in a rush. But his performances are doing so well. The One Championship is going to put the stock in him, and you know what I mean. You don't really want to say no to the boss when the boss gives you such a good opportunity. So I can understand why he feels the way he feels, because he did make mention of Cameron Nabati, who I personally feel was the rightful challenger for this title, and he should have been the one fighting against Nico, not Nabil. But listen, both these guys came there. Nico made the weight very narrowly. He also passed hydration, whereas Nabil did it with ease, which means that this fight is on and stoked. I cannot wait for this one. I personally feel like this is going to be fireworks from the first minute. Nico Carrillo, banger, powerful guy, keeps his hands up. Has got probably the best boxing in terms of his combinations. Knows how to strike the body really well. Has a tendency to almost push his opponents into a corner and keep them there and kind of just phone booth it, because that's where he does his best work. Doesn't really throw that many kicks as much as I would like to see. I would love to see Nico Carrillo blast some of those kicks into the body, especially against someone like Nabil, because it's going to be difficult to reach the face. He's going to have to attack the body on Nabil as much as possible, even take out his legs like the way Super Leg did. So I want to see Nico Carrillo bring in that new weapons into his arsenal and not just overly rely on his boxing, because that's how he gets most of his fights done. I think in this fight he's going to have to use some kicks. Deep kick, switch body kicks, low kicks, attack Nabil there first, because Nabil, on the other hand, is notorious for putting on the pace on his opponents. He beat Lobo, he beat Kulapdam, you know what I mean? He fought against Sudan. He beat really some of the big names. Let me just get it. The rest of his Felipe Lobo, Kulamdam, Muang Thai, Nakrob, Superlek. He didn't beat Superlek, but all those names, Nakrob, Muang Thai, Kulapdam, Felipe Lobo, those guys are ranked, and he beat all of them. And then he beat Sulan in his last fight, who isn't the ranked opponent, but still, he beat such high-level names. These guys fought for titles. Some of them were champions, and he's beaten, you know what I mean? He's beaten them all. And how he does it is that he has this overwhelming pressure where he's striking from all angles. He's deeping at you, low kicking you, switching into elbows, stepping elbows, uppercuts, and he cuts angles really well. And I think one of the best weapons that Jed and Babu didn't mention in the preview last night is that Nabil Anane has got a fantastic stepping knee, and he uses that stepping knee defensively and offensively. And I think that's something Nico Carrillo is going to have to watch out for. And I personally feel like that's probably what's going to set up Nabil Anane's finishing sequence. If he lands that stepping knee on Nico, because Nico likes to come in very aggressively, if he lands that stepping knee on Nico Carrillo, I think that's going to set up the beginning of the end for Nico. Honestly, both these guys are extremely dangerous. Both these guys can beat each other at anywhere. I think Nico Carrillo's best chance is body shots, basically making Anane crumble. I think Nabil's best chance is to catch Nico coming in with that stepping knee, or maybe in a stepping elbow, or even a defensive elbow. That's how he's going to catch Nico Carrillo. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, don't blink for this fight. One of these guys are going to go down. Telling you now, one of these guys are going to go. I don't see this fight going to the decision. So yeah, let me know in the comments, please, how you think that fight's going to play out. I am going to go with the likes of Nabil Anane. I think he's more vibrant. I think he's got more tools. I think he can attack from any angle. And for that reason, if he can just negate the power of Nico and not necessarily get engaged too much in the center of the void, I think he wins the fight. Whereas as Nico, he's going to have to get in close as quickly as possible and stay there and not try and give Anane the space. Give Anane the space. He's just going to keep it at range for the whole fight, and that's how he beats most of his opponents. So, yeah, tough, very tough style to beat in Nabil Anane. So let me know, please, who you have winning this fight. I honestly can't wait for that one. Okay, we will keep it moving, ladies and gentlemen, to a fight for the ages. We have two gentlemen who are very famous for kind of similar nicknames. Seksan is the man who heals to no one, where Sulen Wu is the man of steel. And what that obviously means that both these guys want to car crash. They want to stay in the middle of the octagon or on the ring and fight there all the time. These guys don't take back steps. Got a similar style. I am a bit concerned about Sulen Wu because he failed hydration twice and he missed the weight, which meant that Seksan, he made the weight in hydration. These guys have to negotiate a catch weight bout. Oh, that's why you can see it on screen. There we go, 142. So they're no longer going to be fighting in I think they were scheduled to fight in Bantamweight, if I'm not mistaken. So now they're going to have to fight in catch weight bout. Excuse me, featherweight. Now they're fighting in catch weight. So is Sulen Wu going to be conditioned? Yes. But is he going to be hydrated for this fight? Is he going to be okay because of the weight cut for this fight? Who's going to win this fight? Both these guys have the similar style. Walk forward, stay in your face, pressure you, beat you up. Hard low kicks, elbows, stay in the clinch, body shots. That's what they do. They fight exactly the same. So what this fight's going to come down to is a battle of nutrition. Who is going to be able to last the longest is going to be the one that's going to win. I honestly don't think they're going to be able to knock each other out because they're both so extremely durable. So that's just going to come down to who's going to outlast each other here. And I personally feel like Seksan's going to be the one that's going to win this fight. It's probably going to win over 3 rounds. Maybe dropping Sulen Wu in round 1 or round 2. And then basically winning the fight on points that way because he landed the 2 knockdowns. I'd be very happy if either one of these guys gets each other knocked out because it'll be something that you very rarely see when these two guys fight. They're usually the ones who was giving the knockouts. I mean, Sulen Wu fought against Nabil Anane in his last fight and got tagged in every round with massive blows and none of it dropped him. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. But I'm going to go with Seksan for this one. I think it's going to be the one that's going to get his hand raised at the end of the night. But let me know, please, who do you think gets that job done? And also, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you like this content, please hit us up in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. And we're getting a lot of comments lately, so that's amazing. That really is amazing. Hopefully, what we could do soon is get one of you guys that's commenting so consistently on the show. If you're interested, love to hear your points live. Okay, let's move it on to another fight, which is a high-level ranking match. Both these gentlemen are looking to get themselves back into the title matchups. They are still in title contention. Winner of this fight is pretty much going to guarantee himself a title shot because both these gentlemen are ranked extremely high in this division of the Featherweight Muay Thai. We are starting with Smoking Joe Nattawut, who made weight in hydration perfectly fine. He is taking on, he's also ranked number 2 in this division. He is taking on the up-and-coming new rising star in Bampara, Kouyate. Very, very cool fighter. He's ranked number 4 in the Muay Thai division, featherweight division. He's 29 years old, whereas Smoking Joe Nattawut is only 35. What can I say? Smoking Joe needs a win, even though he's a legendary fighter and he's one of the best, one of the most fun guys. It's amazing how the fans love him more than almost any of the guys, and his record in the One Championship is not that great. I think he has 2 wins and 6 losses or something like that, which is not that amazing, really. But, oh my word, he's a fan favorite. In his last 6 fights, he's got 1 win. That 1 win came in against Luke Lessie. He lost to Superbon, lost to Tawanchai, lost to Yamal, lost to Shingiz. So he took beatings to some really, really high-level opponents. I won't say beatings, but there was one where he got knocked out. But Smoking Joe has definitely made himself a household name and a fan favorite because he's got a cool personality about him. I think he's just got a cool character, a very wholesome fighter, but also a very deadly fighter. He's going up against Bampara Kouyate, who is one of the most elusive strikers we'll watch in this division. He throws strikes from everywhere, spin kicks, switch kicks, jumping elbows, hands down, peep and wall from all kinds of angles. Very, very fun fighter to watch, but also very risky to be fighting in that way. I mean, you saw the fight against Luke Lessie, and Luke Lessie put it on him. Even though he won the fight, I do think that Luke Lessie showed some holes in his game. Smoking Joe Nattawut is the kind of guy that he's willing to give up the first round, to sort of look at your tendencies, and then in round 2 and 3, you can bet round 4 and 5, this man's going to come and chase you down, and he's going to put the pace on you and stay on you. Smoking Joe is fantastic with boxing. He's very good body kicks, very good low kicks, and I think his best weapon is how he can keep you in a phone booth as well, and he can switch and pull. You know what I mean? 1-2 pull and 1-2 again. And he does it really well. Vampara is gonna have his hands full here, even though I think he's probably the favorite in this fight. I don't think that's the case. I do think he's gonna come up against someone who's very experienced, and Vampara is the kind of guy that after round 2 he's kind of, he slows down. After round 2 he slows down, and he also had a bit of a tough weight cut in this one. I mean, he missed hydration twice, and then made weight, and then passed hydration, and then made weight the third time again. So, that can take a lot out of a fighter as well. Weight cuts can take a hell of a lot out of fighters. So I think that's going to be something to pay attention to in this fight. That being said, I also wouldn't be surprised if Ampara wins. He's on a high, 1 win, 1 loss. His last fight was a win, like I said, against Luke Lissé in TKO. Let's go. I'm gonna go with Smoking Nattawut. I think he's the best, probably one of the best boxers in featherweight. He can take you to deep waters, and he loves to fight that kind of fight. And Bapara doesn't necessarily like to fight in those deep waters. He's the kind of guy who likes to be on the front foot. He's the one that wants to push you back, and he's the one, style bender kind of vibe. He likes to fight that kind of style, and I don't know if he's gonna get that against Smoking Joe. I'm not too sure. Smoking Joe is a high level kind of fighter, and it's hard to get Smoking Joe backed up. Very hard. And once Smoking Joe sees that he got you tired, he's gonna stay on that ass. Pause. But Smoking Joe's gonna win this fight, ladies and gentlemen. Please let me know who you think is going to win this fight. Now I'm gonna keep it moving nice and swimmingly, because it is a stacked card from top to bottom. Sinsamut, the legendary one championship Aquaman, taking on Nauzet Rijolo. I'm not too familiar with Nauzet, but I do know a lot about Sinsamut, and he's a fantastic guy as well. Also loves to push the pace. Really good boxer. A bit big for lightweight, if you ask me. I want to see him maybe. Let's see. This is going to be his last run. I think I know him in one of his interviews. He said that he might not stay at the one championship after this fight. I think he said if he loses, he might consider going to a different organization. So this is kind of one of the fights where he's putting everything on the line here. So he's going to have to get this win. Whereas Nauzet, not too familiar with the gentleman, but I'm looking forward to see anyone that's going up against Sinsamut, because Sinsamut is going to put you in a fucking fight. Excuse my French. He's going to put you into a fight where you're forced to do something with himself. Let's see how that fight goes. I'm going to tip it towards Sinsamut, but I'll hold that prediction a bit more reserved because of the unfamiliarity of Nauzet Trujillo. But I'm going to keep it moving, ladies and gentlemen, to a fight I'm absolutely looking forward to. It's a battle of the rising stars. The two youngest fighters on the fight card. We have Jojo Ghazali, taking on Johan Estupinan. And this is also going to be one hell of a fight, because both these guys are on a tear. They're like I said, they're the rising stars. Johan Ghazali, probably one of the most golden boys coming out of Thailand right now. 18 years old, fighting out of Superbon's fighting camp. His record at the moment is 6 wins, 1 loss. He only took 1 loss. He's got some good experience. 5 of those wins came all in KOs, 83% finishing rate. So he's very high precision kind of fighter. Not very pacey. Takes his time with his shots. He picks very selective with his shots. But that's why he's so deadly. He's like a sniper. He only strikes when he knows it's gonna put you away, and he knows it's gonna land. Doesn't go in there and just like empty the tank. It's a very risky kind of fight style to have. So he's got a very more of a patient. I'm going to pick my shots, and as soon as he catches you slipping, if you overextend, I'm going to put you out. Johan Estupinan, on the other hand, is the complete opposite of that style. He's only 2 years old. He's completely flawless in the one championship right now. 4 wins, 0 losses. In all of his fights in finishes, one of those fights didn't end in finish. He beat Zakaria in his last fight by KO. Both these guys easily made the weight limit and passed hydration, so that he knows they know that both these guys are going to come into this fight extremely fresh. I would play out. Well, Johan Estupinan is the kind of fighter that the style forces you to be chaotic. The style that he has forces you to, move a lot around, and you can't really stand still against him. And you can't just take the center of the octagon or the ring, and then that's where you guys are going to fight. He moves every section of that space. He's got very good geography in that fighting arena, whether it's the squared circle or the octagon. I think they're going to fight in the octagon this weekend. Tomorrow. So you can bet that Johan is the kind of fighter that's going to force Jojo into a fight that he doesn't really want to do. He wants to be there and he wants to parry you, throw a jab, parry you, jab straight, then throw a hard kick and then walk you down and then maybe throw another hard kick and then once he sees you backed up, then he's going to throw something heavy. Whereas Estupinan is not going to be the kind of guy. He's going to be moving around, in and out, jab, jab, in and out, spinning kick, karate kick, panda kick, all that random stuff that he's going to throw to you all the time. And that can really tire both of them out. And that is why I'm going to go with Jojo Ghazali for the win here. Because if he can be composed enough to not get sucked into that vortex of a fighting style, he can actually let Johan Superman tire himself out. Defend a lot of what he's doing, engage here and there, make him feel comfortable in what he's doing, he's working, but try and stay in like a hit pocket, just stay in there until you see him really go. When he goes, jump on him immediately. Then you make him go backwards. Because I know in his last fight, I remember we fought in his last fight, Estupinan, Johan Estupinan, Zakaria Al-Jamadi. That fight was a perfect example of it. You could see that he was forcing Zakaria into a fight. Zakaria matched him almost, and Zakaria almost put him away. And you could see that Superman was getting tired, or he was like, "Yo, this guy's actually matching my pace." That's the buzz. If Ghazali can just stay there with him for 2 rounds, Superman's going to get tired, and that's when you can put the pace in him and defeat him. But this fight's going to be fireworks from the beginning. I'm telling you now. I'm looking forward to that one. So please, ladies and gentlemen, like and subscribe. Let me know who do you think is going to win that fight. Between the two Johans. But let's keep it moving. I'm going to breeze over this fight just because I'm a bit disappointed between both of them. Maurice Abevi and Samat Mamodev, both these gentlemen didn't pass hydration and missed weight. So I'm going to breeze over that one. I'm not keen on that. Both these guys, as you can see on screen, these two legendary grapplers. If you know anything about jiu-jitsu, you will know that these two gentlemen is the one for the ages. This is the legendary battle between Marcelo Garcia and Masakusa Imanari, the Imanari role. Both these gentlemen made weight and passed hydration, and they are definitely going to put on a masterful grappling matchup for the fans. So look forward to that one. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this one. I don't know who's going to win. I can't predict it either, but I am definitely excited to watch that fight. So please give me your thoughts about it. All the Brazilian fans, all the Japanese fans, get in the comments. Let me know who do you think this fight is going to be victorious in this fight. But I'm going to keep it moving to another fight that I'm looking forward to. Is a catchweight bout, just because Surian Lek unfortunately missed weight and failed the hydration test. But the fight's still going to go through. This guy's negotiated for 134 catchweight. Sudan Lek is taking on one of the biggest and one of the most fun fighters in the World Championship, Thant Zin. Also a massive fan favorite here at Fighting with Friends. Pardon me. Thant Zin made weight. He had to do 2 hydration tests, but eventually passed both. So he successfully made the weight and hydration. So that makes it a really, really exciting matchup. We know Sudan Lek is one of the power punchers. He hits extremely hard, loves to swing those hooks, likes to push the pace, get you going backwards and just swing for the fences. Thant Zin does something similar, but I do think Thant Zin is a little bit more calculated. I do think he has a bit more of a flawless technique in comparison to that of Sudan Lek. You can see it if you go watch the fight between Thant Zin and Takeru, and you'll notice that Thant Zin, he fights extremely well off both stances, and his technique is actually clean, crisp. Even though sometimes he throws from wide strikes and Takeru can't expose that, but he's only 20 years old. You know what I mean? He's going to learn. Sudan Lek is also still in his 20s, 28 years old. So this is going to be a fighter between Sudan Lek as the bull, rushing forward, throwing haymakers, and Thant Zin trying his best not to get sucked into that wildfire and be a bit more composed. Hope when he fought Takeru, he learned that he can be a little bit more composed, not rush, and not just throw extremely heavy kicks. Be patient. I think if he can move around and not necessarily get caught in the corner, I think he has a big chance of winning this fight. I'm saying this with a lot of apprehension because Sudan Lek is a power puncher. But it is something that Thant Zin can learn here, is that if he watches the fight between Sudan Lek and Zhao Suyai really showed how you can actually beat Sudan Lek. Bull Matador, make him chase you down and make him miss, and then tag him every time he misses. He gets tired, he can get dropped. Thant Zin hits really hard and is very creative. He can win the fight in that kind of ways. There are ways that he can win the fight, but he just has to be very, very concentrated in not getting walked down by Sudan Lek, because he will do that to you. So this is going to be a fantastic fight. I mean, What a card. One championship. What a card, my bro. This is massive. So big ups to them putting this together. I cannot wait. But I'm going to go with Thant Zin as well. I do think he's got the skill set to beat someone like Sudan. But let me know who you think is going to win it, please, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to skip this one as well, just because Masaki Niori did not make weight or hydration. He missed it 3 times, which is quite disappointing for the two-division K1 champion. Shakir made the weight really fine. He was okay. He also passed hydration. So I'm not going to give too much of a breakdown. I'm just keen to see who's going to win the fight. I'm going to go with Shakir. When a fighter misses weight and hydration, they usually don't really do that well. So I'm going to go with Shakir in this one. I think he's going to get the job done. Now I'm going to close it off with the opening bout of the night. Yo! Moosey fight. Battle of the second generations. Well, not the second generation for Johan, because he's Jordan, sorry, he's Johan's twin brother, so there's no second gen. They're exactly the same in every facet. So this fight is one of the best fights that One Championship can put together to open up their card. We have Freddie Haggerty taking on Jordan Estupinan, Battle of Brothers. Freddie Haggerty obviously repping the Haggerty name in Jonathan Haggerty as well, who is the current, I think he's still the Muay Thai champion, if I'm not mistaken. Well, excuse me, still the kickboxing champion. No, Super League beat him for it, so he's not the kickboxing champion. Let me just double check that. Sorry. Bantamweight kickboxing champion. There we go. He's still the bantamweight kickboxing champion. He lost the flyweight to what's his name? To Super League. Anyway, on this fight though, this is what I want to talk about. Is this fight? Jonathan Haggerty, flawless at the moment in One Championship, only 20 years old, 3 wins, 0 losses. All those wins coming in the form of a finish with a TKO or KO, 100% finishing rate. Just looking like an absolute champion right now, even though he's not champion just yet. Jordan Estupinan, this is his debut. I haven't seen him fight before, but if he fights anything like his brother Johan Estupinan, then this fight's going to be fireworks. Fireworks. I keep saying the last word a lot in the stream. But this fight's going to be nuts if he fights anything like his brother. However, I don't think he's going to win the fight though. I do think that Freddie Haggerty is going to win because he's more polished, more composed, sniper-like, very accurate, just like Jonathan Haggerty. And also he can fight from any angle, backwards, forwards. And once he gets his flow state going, it's almost unstoppable. It's almost impossible to beat someone like Freddie Haggerty. Like I said, I'm a big fan of the Estupinan brothers. Really big fan of them, but I don't like their style that much. It's too reckless for me. It's too chaotic, and that's a kind of style that it's a high risk, high reward kind of thing. You know what I mean? You're either gonna win your opponent with it, or you're gonna get beaten really badly. And I don't think the Estupinan brothers are going to win on this fight card. To be honest, it's a big call I know I'm making. I don't think they're going to win because they're going up against very, very polished strikers. Jojo against Johan. Jojo is probably the better striker for me, and it gets the job done. Just like in this fight, I think Freddie Haggerty is cleaner. He can set up things so well. I mean, he's got the champion in his corner. Jonathan Haggerty fought against the best of the best. Super League, Lobo, Fabricio, Rautang twice. You know what I mean? With all that of experience, it's gonna breed a championship mentality in Freddie Haggerty, and for that reason, I think he's gonna get the job done in this fight. But let me know, please, who do you think is gonna get the job? I can't not see Freddie winning this fight. I really can't. But if you think anything different out there, all the Colombian fans that follow the Estupinan brothers, please get in the comments. Let me know. I'm sure you've watched more of them than any of the guys like myself that's only seen them now because of One Championship. Please get in the comments. Let me know how you think this fight's going to play out, because obviously you can I'm going to go with Freddie Haggerty on this one. I do think it's just a better fighter overall. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. You can catch this event. Let me just pull it up on screen there. You can catch this event Friday fights 170. It's going to be live this Friday, 24th of January, on Adrian's birthday, by the way, at 1:30 South African time on the YouTube page, which is the YouTube One Championship page, by the way. And I'm thinking about this really. I was thinking about it throughout the week. I haven't made the announcement. I'm going to make the announcement now. If you made it this far, thank you for making this far, and you're going to catch this announcement now. I am going to do a live. This event is way too big, way too awesome, way too massive for me not to do the live. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. I'm going to go live, and well, say 1:45. I'm closer to the one championships time starting. I'm gonna go live, and looking forward to seeing all of you join the live chat, get involved. If you're gonna watch this fight, whether you in South Africa or anywhere in the world, and you're following Fighting with Friends, get in on our live watch-alongs. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. And I would love to see everyone in the comments and just to banter about these fights. I hope that you watch it with me, and then we can get involved. It's going to be one amazing fight card. But on that note, gentlemen, please have a fantastic Thursday and the Friday tomorrow and the rest of the week that's coming up. I love the support. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. You were doing all of that, and I love it. And keep it up. Keep growing this community with us here at Fighting with Friends. I mean, you can catch myself in the rest of the panel when we recap this particular event this Saturday, which is going to be the 25th of January. On that note, stay safe, stay blessed. Catch Brother Guy next. Cheers.